Ooh, the most frustrating thing when you're playing competitive games on your computer or games console is spending the whole of your night setting yourself up and getting prepared for an epic gaming session, making sure you are comfy in your chair. The lighting is just perfect. You put on your headset and switch your microphone on, and you're surrounded by all your favorite edible comforts. To then see your player lying dead on the ground looking at you, making you contemplate why you even bother wasting your night gaming again. Raid Shadow Legends can cure this and give you the competitive anytime, anywhere gaming experience you desire. With millions of players competing in online tournaments and events every day to make you feel satisfied all the time. But the best part is that it's completely free to play on PC and your mobile device, so you can take the mighty battles with you anywhere and waste no time having to set yourself up on a game which isn't going to make you feel epic. Use my links below to download Raid to your device or PC whilst I tell you more. Despite Raid's awesome graphics, gameplay and the really immersive tournaments, it's the vast collection of champions available to unlock is the thing you will love most about this game. I love the excitement of summoning champions from shards, which are the special crystals you'll find when playing Raid. Mystery shards are the common green ones, ancient shards are the blue and are rare, void shards are purple and also rare. The sacred shards, which are the gold ones, are the holy grail of shards, as you want these the most as you progress through the missions. There's just something so incredibly satisfying unlocking champions so you can level them up to join your army so you can battle it out on missions or against other players. So what's new for Raid in September 2020? Raid just released a huge champion update, tweaking and rebalancing over 20 different champions to make a PvP area battles even more competitive. And if that's not enough, the Forge just came out, so you can now save time and start crafting top quality artifacts and competing right away. Support my channel by downloading Raid Shadow Legends using the links below, and if you're a new player, you can get an exclusive welcome pack which contains 1 clan boss key, 1 day XP boost, 1 energy refill, 5 mysterious shards, 50 gems, 50,000 silver, and a free awesome champion, the Executioner. You will find your extra rewards here in your inbox for the next 30 days only. Raid Shadow Legends, proud sponsors of the Rude English Knight. What a sorry place to live. This is indeed not a castle. How on earth anyone could inhabit an area such as this? These cold, dismal, dark walls. This damp, horrid place. Though you are a peasant, so this is probably exceptionally luxurious for you, but to you perhaps this is actually your castle. I mean, that's what the stone walls are. Maybe. There. Well, we can never be too certain with peasants such as yourself, and how on earth you manage to accumulate the wealth to have a stone wall, I do not yet know. But in fact, how you managed to accumulate all the wealth when I visited you the first time collecting tax for our king is also one of life's great mysteries. For how is it that a peasant such as yourself, scruffy looking, look at you, scruffy there, could accumulate so much wealth in coin? Well, you do not have to tell me, of course, your silence speaks volumes, though this was impressive enough for the king. The king has tasked me today to come deal with you, pay you a special visit. Now, this is a visit in where you can be relaxed, knowing that I have come here to take care of you. Now I shall keep my armor on and sword at ready for tonight's encounter. I shall explain all very shortly, so there is no need to worry or feel disconcerted that the Knight of the Realm is fully armored in your castle. Do you know what this is? Well, I remember that you had your eyes on it the last time I came round. This is the King's Sword, entrusted with the powers direct from the King. You'll never find a greater sword such as this. This sword has done battle and has protected me for a long time, and it has also helped me pay many visits to peasants such as yourself who were not so generous in giving the tax which you were last time. However, last time, I probably won't get too close, you absolutely reek. However, last time you gave an awful lot of coin for our Majesty and of course the realm. The coins are there to build castles, keeps, cathedrals, barely castles, towns, and of course an army to protect people such as yourself with high-paid knights like me. You had an awful lot of coin, far too much for a peasant, which meant two things. One, that you indeed earned all that coin through just means, and you are in favour with either a lord or people of high status and have earned that money. Unlikely. Second thought, you stole that coin, and being in a dense area such as this, it would be easy for some peasant like you to perhaps ambush someone in the night. So I informed our king, upon returning to him, of this wealthy peasant living in the woods in a dark and dismal hut, with all of this wealth hoarding like a dragon. The king listened intensely to what I had to say. A peasant in the realm filled with wealth. It is unheard of. Peasants have to work, and they don't get paid much. Of course, taxes dictate that you can indeed work with protection and look after our king. To the king. To the king. Please. To the king. To the king. There we go, you did it. To the king. A peasant such as yourself does not accumulate that amount of wealth. So I said to the king, it is probably the latter, which that you have stolen this wealth from some wealthy individual, and I hope that it's not from the church or any of the important places that I have seen on my travels near to your castle here. But the king is a just king, a giving king, and not a king that I would be. He decided that because of your generous gifts, being a peasant, that it was knightly, and something like that is something in which a knight and a nobleman would do. The act of charity is the greatest, questionably, the greatest attribute of a knight of the world realm. So the king, much to my displeasure, decided that I should come all the way back to this horrid place, travel night and day to come and find you again. And over time, you will most likely be brought before the king. But for this time, he entrusted me with his sword, and being a knight, he said to me, prepare yourself. A peasant, living in the middle of nowhere, minding their business, accumulating all of this coin, probably sleeping, not working, not paying our king enough money, taking riches from those who have been given the riches, and hoarding like a dragon, should indeed be knighted and become a knight of the realm. Yes, your courtless look there, and your very simpleton face says it all to me. I would have thought there had been some sort of reaction, but I really was in quite similar shock that the king wished something like that to happen to you. A peasant to become a knight. Of course, it is unheard of, and something I very much advised our king not to do. You can't just go around making random peasants like yourself knights. I mean, what if there are invaders? Can you fight? I doubt it. Do you have any good advice at all, going by your appearance? Probably not. Will you indeed protect those in need? Highly unlikely. Though, would I? Perhaps you do have some knightly attributes after all. So, have you got anywhere before we perform the ritual? And if you perform it well, then the ritual can be performed. But if you do not perform the ritual, you should be dealt with in the same way that a peasant would be, who will not be so generous as you in giving all of your coin. Good. This is indeed a noble task for noble people. It is a relaxing task, and something which we must uphold and honor. Now, I shall need to put my sword down. Where do you intend me to rest my sword against your stone wall there? Would that be appropriate place for it? Now, if I place it there, you will not try and steal it, will you, or have one of your peasant friends come in and take it away? Right. So, there is one very important thing before you get knighted, and that is you have to be absolutely unequivocally relaxed. The king would only knight those who are headstrong, and you do not look headstrong. You look stressed, troubled, also somewhat confused, but that is the look of a peasant, and also perhaps cautious as to why a knight is still in your hut who claims to knight you for no reason and fully armored, who hates peasants too. So, we will help you relax. Being a knight, you will be given armor, and our armor has the ability to relax any knight. So if you are indeed a knight at heart, then armor, which is used to protect, to become powerful, can be used to relax and calm. has the ability to relax whenever he wants, no matter what stressful situation he finds himself in. I am in a mud hole, deep in the forest, with this smelly peasant in front of me, though my armor and my ability to relax remains intact. In these times, relaxing is of the utmost importance for every single night. Better. Well, it is hard to try and make my way through that very simple 10,000 league stare of yours there. Becoming a knight of the realm, there are certain rituals that we must uphold. Becoming a knight, you will be gifted armor such as this, shoulder pauldrons, your own circlet, gauntlets, your own sword, a belt, and everything you need to serve the country and to show that you are a knight. Though I cannot help but notice your sword right there. Yes, it is a fine sword that you have there. I cannot help but notice. When I robbed you of all of your, when I collected the tax from you for our king to protect our lands from peasants such as you, that you gave exceptionally generously to our king. And yet you also gave me your sword. Lastly, it was a very well made sword. You appear to have an identical one there. Mind if I just take a little look? Now this makes me wonder, why is it a peasant such as yourself has a sword like this lying around in your living quarters? Well, if you were in a castle, then I would expect such luxury from a peasant, but you are a peasant, and thou shalt not carry weapons designed as good as this in your home. This should be on the side of a knight. So once again, this makes me believe that you have in fact stolen another one of these swords. But regardless, I think I'm going to have to take it from you. Okay, so we'll just give a little bit of an examination here to make sure that this will indeed serve me in protecting your lands and you, of course. mighty sword capable of great deeds. I trust that your lord gave it to you, or one of his blacksmiths created this in his forge. No? Oh. Well, if that's the case, then the lord of the manor did not give it to you, then I'm afraid that I will look after it for you. Okay. I'm sure that you will be most grateful to know that a knight such as myself will be entrusted with a sword as beautiful as this one here. The pommel encrusted with our symbol of protection, the grip leather, and the perfect scabbard. The slot right in. Bid yourself as well. Now it gives me great discomfort to have to tell you this. When I saw you last time to collect your tax, I brought the offerings back to the king. The king, of course, needs the coin to build castles, moats, modern Bailey castles, cathedrals, churches, and make sure the country runs in order to keep away all foreign invaders. You, amongst everyone in this area, it was you who gave the most generously. Now, I know that I took all of your belongings, pretty much, and all of your coin, though the king was most grateful for this task, so it gives me great displeasure that he has tasked me to either bring you before him or to knight you here with the king's sword. That is why we have the sword. Now, why the king would wish to knight a peasant as unimportant as yourself, I do not know the answer, though someone higher perhaps will know the reasons. Perhaps it's the will of someone, but it is not mine. And looking upon you now, your scraggy appearance, your off-putting scent, and your disfavourable look on your face there, very simpleton look, I would have thought that you would not be someone who is worthy to be a knight. Though it is the king's instruction in which I have come here. I am tasked and duty bound to knight you from a peasant to a knight, and then you will now have bestowed upon you duty for our country and the realm. Now, before we go through the sacred process, we must go through some elements. I have knighted a peasant before, and I was not impressed. A peasant would kneel before me. I would take the king's sword. I will place it on your right shoulder, on your left shoulder, on your left shoulder, on your right shoulder, and speak the sacred words. The peasant in which I did this last time kneels down and found it very relaxing and fell asleep. Unfortunately, he left me no choice to dispose of the peasant, though relaxation during a knighting process is mandatory, but falling asleep is not what the king desires. Knights are duty bound to protect those who are vulnerable, to uphold the values of those around him, and to protect all those in need. It is a noble task, and like me, you will be tasked with collecting tax from peasants such as yourself. A noble task, and very noble should you get a well-off peasant like yourself. Okay, so perhaps you would like to well, a little bit there, or not. That's quite sufficient, I'm sure. So I will have the king's sword. I will put it on your shoulder, put it on your other shoulder, and again, and again. You will remain there whilst I say the sacred words, and then you shall rise a knight. I mean, look at you. Why would the king wish to have a peasant like you defend his realm? I don't know why. Though, to congratulate you for your loyalty, he wishes to reward you in this way. So, I believe now is as good a time as any to perform this ritual and turn you into a knight with a knightly name and status. You will indeed be able to go to castles. You will be given a horse, armor. So without any further gilding the lily, let us begin with your knighthood. So if you would like to... Oh, 1 second there. What is this? What have we here? Would this be more coin you have lying around? Perhaps you forgot, or there wasn't enough time to hide this one. For me it was there, but why, my goodness, there seems to be quite a lot of coin in there. There certainly is. Well, that certainly is a handsome collection of coin you have there. And what's in here? In your pouch. Precious gems as well. Well, forgive me, but you seem to have been quite quiet about your precious collection of wealth that you have here. Well, was I not meant to see that there? Well, of course, the king would be so grateful, and I'm sure that he would want me to take these from you. Seeing as you're not quite a knight yet, then it, of course, is my duty, and I'm duty bound to take these away from you and make sure they return safely onto my heart, to the king, to be spent on his castles. Either you've been hiding this from our last visit, in which I'm afraid the punishment is severe, or you have accumulated. Of course, yes, you've accumulated it since then. Why am I not surprised with that? Oh, please be silent whilst I calculate the amount here. I mean, a peasant who clearly seems to be an expert in gold and silver coin and gems. How much would you say was in there? Have a little listen. Have a little listen. Let your peasant brain work. It's quite a considerable, isn't it? be doing my job as a most gracious and noble knight of the realm if I didn't take this from your hands. Now, of course, I am knighted to make the country a better place and more wealthy, and right before me seems to be all this wealth. So, allow me to take this from you. Okay. Now, I believe it is time. You seem relaxed enough to be knighted. Remember, if you are not relaxed and a peasant that doesn't take a knighthood from the king seriously enough, then there are penalties for peasants such as you. So be nice and relaxed during this sacred process. To be knighted is an ethereal thing that you will begin to feel, and if you indeed are truthful and meant to be a knight, then of course you will be protected. You will feel these things, hear these sounds, and you will rise a knight. So let us do this. So with this sword, let me know if you hear anything. I knight the peasant, Sir Peasant, a terrible peasant, and also a not quite so charming peasant of the realm, to become a knight of His Majesty the King. Oh, how silly of me. How rude of you to interrupt me, but yes, I know this was in fact your sword and not the king's sword. I didn't think that you were going to notice there at all. I thought I had got away with that one, and you of course wouldn't actually be knighted. Well, at least I tried. So that's ingenuity, something that hopefully you will learn as a knight. Okay, so you have passed your test. You can be knighted properly. The power that is vested in me, bestowed upon our king. I invite you to kneel, once a peasant. May you be transformed. For the good of the country. To protect those in need. To uphold the honor bestowed upon a knight. To safeguard the weak. To be loyal to others. To continue collecting your wealth and giving it to me by the power vested in me from Majesty the King. May all your endeavors succeed and you rise a knight of the realm. Rise, knight. Well, what a sorry knight you indeed look. Don't think that you are now my equal, because you certainly are not one of those. During the knight in ceremony, a true knight would feel a tingly feeling, a sense of honor bestowed upon him, and gallantry. No doubt you probably didn't hear anything whatsoever. The sword enlaced in its very blade is the power to turn a nobody such as yourself into a somebody. From peasant to knight, isn't that a wonderful tale? Perhaps you can go tell your lord who you are in favour of, and perhaps he might care and give you some more of his word. You will be contacted by the king, no doubt, being his royal servant now. Every knight is destined to create a better place for those around him. So, in this deep forest here, perhaps you might be able to do something for some of the serfs that appear to be inhabiting this area around here. But I highly doubt that. A peasant will always think like a peasant, and you are at heart a peasant, are you not? Yes, well, knights now. So, the day is late, and I must get back to the keep before it gets too dark. Outside the weather is horrid, and I don't know why. The king had charged me with this terrible service of coming to knight you. I mean, of course, the king wouldn't do it himself. I mean, why would he want to visit you in a place like this? Well, I know that he was grateful for your most modest and generous gifts that you decided to give him, but in reality, I'm quietly confident that was me seeking all of your riches and wealth and prizing away those who don't know what to do with them. As I said, you are indeed a dragon. Allow me to collect my coin. I wish to thank you for your generous donation to a knight. You will begin to realize when you become a knight that it's every man for himself, and I certainly am looking after myself. I notice you don't have any weapons to call with me, and I would also advise you not to. Just sit here, remain in your hut, perhaps turn it into the castle, just as I imagined you would be a complete disappointment, and I doubt that any of this will change anything, because once a peasant, always a peasant. Okay, well, I'm afraid that I will, even though you are a knight now, have to take your sword and your coins and also your gems there, because a peasant should not be carrying around that sort of valuables, but a knight can. So if you make that again, then of course you'll be able to keep it this time, though I really do wish that I won't have to return here again, and if I see you again, then I hope it's in battle. Great, and I would not mean it in the sense of you being by my side, perhaps in the opposite end of the field would suit us a little bit better. Perhaps you could conjure up another one of your swords. I thought you could. Well, the day is late and the night is near, so I shall be heading back to the castle and inform the king of this unfortunate occurrence in which has happened today, which is your knighting. Well, please, even though you are now a knight, but Prepare my horse, get it ready, so I can embark on my journey. I'll be keeping a close eye for bandits such as yourself in the woods, because I intend to keep all of the coin in which I have collected today. Please, my horse. Well, hopefully I don't have to come round and see you again. Unless it's for tax collection, in which you will be doing the same. So no doubt you will be able to accumulate even more coin for yourself. I'll be sure to bring my army next time. Farewell.